Well, inflation is already increasing very much. We have an inflation rate of 5.5%, which is well more than double the inflation target that the Federal Reserve has at the present time. So I would argue it is time to tighten up a little bit, at least stop the great stimulus that the Federal Reserve continues to put into the economy.
How worrying is it to you? I mean, when we think about this with regards to the argument that in terms of servicing the national debt at $28.5 trillion, there's just not going to be any wiggle room in this current environment, because that's the argument that we're hearing, at least on the right.
Absolutely. It will be a great burden on our children, on our grandchildren to pay all this debt back. But what are you going to do? At the moment, the Federal Reserve is hell-bent to keep the economy expanding very rapidly. And that's also in conformance with the administration, which also wants to have the best possible employment picture that we can possibly get.
Is there too much stimulus out there at the moment, given the shape and size of the economic recovery that we are seeing?
Absolutely. I think it is too much. We see a lot of fiscal stimulus. We see great monetary stimulus. The money supply is exploding in the United States. The consumers and businesses are flush with liquidity, and all that drives up prices, both on the retail as well as on the wholesale side.
Yeah, Hadley was just talking about inflation, but of course another warning or another messaging out from the Fed chair again overnight that inflation is just transitory. As someone, of course, that's sat around that table, you were just talking about 5.5% inflation. From where you sit, is there anything transitory about it? Yes, it is coming off the low base effect, but what's your read?
I think inflation will continue to increase because there's the enormous monetary and fiscal stimulus in the pipeline, and all that liquidity that the Federal Reserve is pumping into the system will not just dissipate. It will be money that will be spent, and therefore inflationary pressures will continue to be very high in the United States.